Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another one of our online meetups. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dee Collins. I'm the founder, editor, and publisher of Focus Magazine, a print and online lifestyle and business magazine for women. Today, I'm delighted to have Vinka from Vinka Nutrition with us. Vinka, tell us a bit about yourself.
I am a clinical nutritionist and I work a lot with women and doing a lot of work with hormones is one of my favourite things to do. And I also do a lot of functional nutrition, which is basically looking at why people aren't feeling at their best by looking at blood tests, hormone tests, looking at the symptoms you're expressing, kind of like a little bit of an musical investigator. But yeah, so I think, using this time to decide what we're rushing back to and making some big healthy life changes will be really cool. And one of the things that I think would be really important to start is getting back some routine around the times that we're eating, and I think myself included need to do this, and getting some meal times happening again, because there's no structure in our day at the moment, and so we're probably finding that we are eating more regularly than we probably would normally do. But I think too, a lot of us have been kind of brought up in the decade where we've been told to eat 6 meals a day, little meals to keep our blood sugar stable, which is really not how we're designed to eat. We're designed to eat 2 or 3 meals a day and to make those meals satisfying and enough to stabilize our blood sugars till we eat our next meal. So when you eat a good, nutritious meal that contains all the 3 food groups of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, that will get you to your next meal. And if you are eating foods that are highly processed, they're only going to last you a couple of hours before you're hungry again. And so the mentality that we've been through and having 6 meals a day was basically a marketing, I guess, ploy in terms of making sure we keep buying muesli bars and bags of chips and things like that to keep us energy stable. But if we just eat the right foods at meal times, our energy will stay stable. And I think it's really important that we do eat from all those food groups, because I think it's quite confusing when we look at, fad diets, there's keto diets, and now there's been a documentary and everyone's turning vegan on me. So everyone's dropping out big food groups, not eating carbohydrates or not eating a lot of meat. Or is it, we can meat, but we still need some in our diet, which may be controversial for some. But I think, we need to appreciate all those food groups and include them in our diet, so that we can get all the nutrients and things that our body needs. So, start with having a regular time for breakfast in the morning. And actually, it's the time of the day where we should be eating the most. But I know that's a little hard in the Kiwi culture to be having our biggest meal at breakfast. But it's, the saying goes, eat like a king for breakfast, eat like a prince for lunch, and eat like a pauper for dinner. And that's how we should ideally eat. And particularly for women and our hormones, that's how our body likes to eat. Sometimes, I'll be weird and have breakfast and then porridge for dinner, and that's not going to always work for us because we're feeding families and things. But just to be mindful that your breakfast should be a really important meal of your day, and it doesn't need to be a breakfast meal. So you can have things that aren't typical breakfast, like cereals and breads and things, and eat them if they're nutritious. It doesn't matter what it is, just think of it as another meal. Eggs with some vegetables and things is a perfect start to the day, and then leftover lunch dinners for lunches and things like that, and soups as we get colder. So yeah, just looking at choosing foods. And I always think when you're looking at foods, it's I love eating whole foods and believing that's the way we should eat. And so really looking at things that grow out of the ground or that eat off the ground. It's kind of a simple way. Eating things such as fruit, vegetables, nuts and seeds, your healthy oils like your olive oil, coconut oil, and all those nut oils like macadamia nut oils and all those things, as well as eating good healthy proteins that can come in the form of animal produce or lentils and things like chickpeas and things like that. So getting that kind of diversity, and we should, we want to be eating quite a lot of different food each day, a bit of variety to make sure that we cover all our kind of nutrients that we need. So eating from the rainbow is always a nice way of looking at it when you think about your vegetables. You've kind of got some purple, some green, some orange in your day to kind of make sure that we're getting those different nutrients, because every colour is actually gives us different nutrient value. So it's a nice, easy way of working it out. And I think also during this time, a lot of us have been shopping to last us 2 or 3 weeks at the supermarket due to lockdown, and therefore haven't been buying the fresh produce that we probably are normally doing. So I wanted to kind of encourage you to get back into doing that again, and and realizing that food actually that is fresh produce can actually last a long time if you store it correctly. And I put a post on my Facebook page about this recently, but it's things like, you know, wrapping things in tinfoil will make them last a lot longer. And I do this with cabbage, lettuce, celery, leeks, and I put them in tinfoil and they can last quite a few weeks. Like my cabbage is actually 2 months old in my fridge at the moment, and it's still sweet as to use. And I do, you know, lettuce will last 2 or 3 weeks like that in the fridge. So using those kind of techniques, and also, you know, airtight containers, Ziploc bags, all those things will make the rest of those fruit and vegetables last a lot longer. Putting them in the right drawer in your fridge, you know, that vegetable and fruit drawer will make them last longer too. And then, you know, you can freeze things like I freeze whole corn kernel cobs, I freeze ginger, I freeze chilies, I freeze chopped up spinach. You can freeze so much as well, and it'll come out quite fresh when you cook it. So, you know, the sweet corn, for example, will be just like brand new from when you cook it from frozen. So you're thinking of, I guess, more clever ways to store your food so you can still utilize those vegetables and get them into your diet, rather than choosing the flour and the sugars and the pastas that a lot of people have been buying over these last weeks, which is understandable. But I was just starting to think about some new ways of getting around that would be really cool.
So obviously with COVID-19, we need to keep boosting our immune levels. And once this lockdown is over, we'll still need to build these levels as winter is coming. So what immune boosting strategies would you recommend?
So I think one of the most important things that we need to do is getting enough vitamin D. Vitamin D we get from the sunshine. It's a free vitamin, and depending on how dark your skin is depending on how much you need each day. So if you've got someone who's got quite dark skin, you actually need good maybe 30 minutes in the sun, whereas if you've got pale English rose skin, then you may only need 5 to 10 minutes a day. And it's a long story why, but the darker the skin is, the more sunshine you need, but you need to get some sunshine every day without sunscreen on. So the more skin you have exposed, the better. And you know, my poor postman's probably seen me too many times with my bikini at the wrong hour in the morning. But no, you've really got to get some sunshine. And if you can't get enough vitamin D through the sun because we're working and busy and life doesn't allow it, or there's no sunlight today, then you could take a vitamin D supplement, or you can eat it through foods like cod liver oil, butter even has some in there, but you're probably not going to get enough, to be honest, through foods that easily. So you may want to take a supplement from vitamin D, but the best way to get vitamin D is through the sunshine. That's how it absorbs best into our body and is utilised best. Get your computer right up against the window. I know, and it's just a little bit every day, and it's and you know, for me, I find that I will get enough through summer, but in winter I will supplement with vitamin D because it's just, I don't get enough. But vitamin D is one of the most important nutrients for your immune system and for the corona, as well as vitamin A. Vitamin A is really mainly in meat sources and in orange vegetables and fruit. So you'll kind of get a lot of vitamin A in those kind of categories. And obviously vitamin C is really important as well, which most of us kind of know. And I think with vitamin C, when you use vitamin C, make sure, a lot of vitamin Cs are quite cheap on the market and they don't come with the necessary ingredients to make them absorbable. So when you eat a vitamin C in nature, it comes, like for example, an orange, it comes with the pith inside that we eat, the membrane of the orange. Those little membranes are the enzymes that break down vitamin C so that our body can use. So when you take a supplement of vitamin C, you need to make sure that it actually has what's called bioflavonoids that will be on the bottle, or it's liposomal vitamin C, so that you're actually getting the benefits of the vitamin C. Otherwise, your body won't know how to break it down without it. So you need to always kind of get a natural supplement when you're any supplement to make sure that your body can utilize it and you're not just paying out your money. So only vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin C are really important. If for the COVID in specific, if you have asthma, respiratory issues, then I or any kind of immune compromised situation that's significant, then I would take glutathione, which is the biggest antioxidant our body has, and it's particularly important for the lungs, and as like a little Pac-Man that kind of goes around and cleans up the mucus and the blockages in the respiratory system.
Would that help with hay fever too?
It does, yep, it does. It's just kind of a nice way of cleaning up the mucus that's kind of around the respiratory system, and it's great for the whole body, but it's particularly important for the respiratory system. So yeah.
What about zinc and iodine?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to know when to stop, to be honest, because I think we all need this. Yeah, zinc and iodine are really important. Zinc is, I guess, one of the ones that's a little bit harder to get through diet because it's mainly in oysters, and a little bit in lamb and a little bit in pumpkin seeds. So is kind of one of those things that I generally think women should supplement with, because it's so important for our women's hormones. And unless we're getting oysters into us every day or lamb, then it's really kind of probably not meeting the levels that we do. And I've tested so many women's zinc in their blood, and I have never met anyone who's had adequate levels yet. So yeah, so it is something that I think is important.
So Vinka, thank you so much for your time, valuable information that you've given us today. Thank you to everyone. Thanks everyone. Bye.
You too. See ya.
Bye.